Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me today. My name is Peter. Welcome back to another episode of Invest with Peter. So today I'm going to be talking about the market risk for this quarter, right? If you've been watching closely the issue around the world on your TV, you can see that we still have some issue around the world, geopolitical crisis, political issue in United States, diseases, pandemic going about, and some crisis that I'm going to analyze today. And I'm going to talk about this crisis today so that we can actually inform ourselves, so that we know when to deploy our money and when to, start playing the waiting game. So to me, my kind of, investing is quite different because I follow political trend a lot. I'm not a politician, but I follow political trend and I watch closely what's happening. I don't really watch the secular TV or secular news station and all that stuff because they don't actually tell you what you need to know about these things. But, I do my due diligence to dig out what's really the truth and what's really the truth they want you to know. Because, there's a difference between the truth and the truth they want you to know. So this new age now, we are into, misinformation and disinformation. So the truth is now the casualty of every, political scenario, crisis or war. And we don't even know what we need to believe anymore. But I watch closely what I need to know before deploying my hard-earned money. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. So today I'm going to be analyzing a couple of things. It might take a while, but please just bear with me. I will be asking some questions directly and I will be answering those questions. By answering those questions, that will probably, pull some light in the issues that we've been thinking or worried about. And I'm going to be giving my, candid information and view about those things. So now let's go straight to the point. So the issue of Israel and Hamas, it's been ongoing since October the 7th last year when Hamas decided to storm Israel and cause chaos and all that stuff. And since then, a lot of life has been lost, unfortunately, in that crisis, and it's still not stopping. It's still ongoing in the Middle East. And what do I mean by Middle East? It's gone from Israel, Hamas to Hezbollah getting involved, to, Houthi getting involved in Yemen, Iran now, completely disregarding any issue and coming out plainly that they're actually supporting Hamas because of what Israel did and all that stuff. So these are the things are going on out there, and they might have a ripple effect on investments and world economy going forward if world politicians are not very careful. If these issues are not dealt with appropriately, we might have a crisis in our hand very, very soon. So now let me start asking the questions and I'm going to be answering, what I believe is the truth about it. So the first question is, why is Hamas not accepting the deal that was presented to them? Right. Sorry, guys, I'm an investor. I'm not a politician. You might be thinking, why? What's my own, concern about this issue? If we're not careful, if it's not closely monitored and settled properly, it's going to affect world economy. And it's going to affect every economy, which is going to lead back to inflation. And we're going to start all over again where we started from 2023. Remember the inflation crisis. If we're not careful, this is going to have a ripple effect, cause world inflation again. And we're going to start from where we started from. So that's why you need to understand and listen to this, what I'm going to be saying now. So why is Hamas not accepting the deal that was presented to them? Well, Blinken went to Middle East this week and he was trying to speak to the Egyptian representative and other representative of the Hamas from Qatar and all that stuff, trying to accept the deal that is presented by the United States. So the Israel government, Benjamin Netanyahu, who was the prime minister, actually accepted the deal and was in the deal. The deal is the Hamas needs to release the hostage now. And once they release the hostage, then they're going to cease fire and all the Israeli army in Gaza will be moving back to Israel and all that. So that's what's in the deal. If you're wondering what's in the deal, that's what's in the deal. They want Hamas to release all the hostage. Then Israeli soldiers will be pulled out from Gaza and they're going to start negotiating forward. All right, is it a temporary ceasefire or a permanent ceasefire? So Hamas are saying we are not going to be accepting this because those hostages are our bargaining chips. Once we let the last person off, they don't believe Israel is going to go, by the terms in the paper, and they believe they're not going to have a bargaining chips anymore. So why would they let the bargaining chip, off the table first before the end of the game? So they're actually not accepting the deal. They were like, no. What Hamas want is a permanent ceasefire first. Then after that, Israel should pull out all their soldiers from Gaza. Then they start talking about releasing the hostages. So they're actually going two different ways, which both parties are not agreeing to. So Hamas has rejected the latest deal that was presented by the United States. So now the next one is Iran is getting close to completion of nuclear weapon. These are the questions that I'm actually see this crisis I'm actually talking about are the problems or the big issue at hand at the moment now, that if we're not careful, we will run ourselves into a big issue that will affect the globe and that will cause a global crisis for everyone. Nowhere you are in the world will be safe if anything go bang at this point. So now Iran is getting close to completion of the nuclear arsenal, the nuclear weapon they've got, because United States, after the Donald Trump government, the Biden's government actually gave money to Iran and they let Iran's ban off, and Iran started building up again, start getting their nuclear weapon in place and all that stuff. So they're getting closer to completion of these, and they are threatening that they are going to retaliate what Israel did to them by killing Hamas Leader in Tehran. And also, if you remember, when Israel actually killed the Iran consulars in Syria the other week, couple of months ago, and all that stuff. So this has piled up for Iran, and Iran has decided that they will attack Israel any point from now. And also the United Nations is actually warning that Iran is probably getting close to maybe a couple of months to total completion of nuclear weapon. And once Iran gets their hands on nuclear weapon, the whole Middle East will not be safe again. The whole world will be another place entirely. So now, also, the escalation between Iran and Israel, Hamas and Hezbollah. Now, that's the question. Israel are actually fighting in multiple fronts now. They're fighting Hamas, they're fighting Hezbollah in Lebanon, and also they are prepping to fight Iran if Iran actually retaliate by, sending missiles like they did a couple of months ago, or they have a straight attack on their territory. So these are multiple fronts that Israel is going to be fighting. And last week, United States actually sent some munitions, ships and all that to the Middle East just to defend Israel in case Iran decide to attack. And so many Tomahawk fighter jets have been sent to Middle East just to stand by Israel to deter Iran from invading or attacking Israel at this point. So that's, by the way, that's the geopolitical issue. Now let's talk about the pandemic that is going about now. I'm telling you this as what we need to look at and why we need to be careful while deploying our hard-earned money, because these are the issues that may affect the way we invest or may affect the world entirely at this level. Now, funny enough, U.S. election is coming again, and we start hearing about pandemic as SPA. All right, so Mpox was declared a global crisis by WHO president the other week, and this disease actually came out from DRC Congo, and Mpox is monkeypox anyway, so that you might be wondering what's Mpox. Mpox is monkeypox. But at this level, the Mpox at this point is quite spreading rapidly beyond the way it's react back in the days where if somebody have it now, it's very difficult to contact Mpox if you don't have a close contact or probably hugging that person and all that. But at this point now, it's spreading rapidly in Africa. It's been spread to 15 other African countries, neighboring countries to Congo. And at the moment, 15 or 16,000 people have actually contacted this disease, and up to 700 people are dead already. And countries like Sweden, Philippines, and some Western countries have declared their first cases of this pandemic. I wouldn't call it pandemic anyway for now, because it hasn't spread around the world yet, but it's still going about and, infecting people. And this can be, yes, so this one is quite different from COVID-19, because COVID-19 is airborne disease, but this one is actually a close contact disease, that if you don't have a close contact with someone, you will not actually contact this disease. So it's basically being spread more from sexual transmission, so, or probably hugging somebody who's got the disease and shake your hand and all that stuff. You can actually catch the disease through that, but it's actually not airborne disease. So that's like COVID that can spread whether you shake somebody, have a close contact or not. Once you breathe it in, that's you done. This one is quite different, but the rate at which it's jumping from the host is alarming at this point. That's why WHO president declared it as a global crisis. So if this goes around again, we don't know how this is going to, and he has killed a couple of people, and there's no much vaccine at this level. I'm not advocating for vaccine and all that, and I'm not anti-vax, so don't put me in any category. But as what I'm talking about, what WHO is talking about. So it said there's no more vaccine out there. They need more money. At least they were requesting for $50 billion to fight this disease and all that stuff. Well, that's just the information we need. I'm just giving you the information I have at hand now. So the potency, I've spoken about Mpox potency. The potency is not that great like COVID-19 is contact. You have to make contact with that person, the host, before you can contact the disease. So countries affected: Sweden, Philippines, 15 other African countries that I'm not going to mention, because they are not actually getting the data correctly. So I don't want to be misinforming you guys, because, I don't want to be somewhere that will be giving misinformation at this level. So we were told that it's been spread to 15 other African countries, and it's jumped to Western Europe. No known patients has been declared in United States yet, and all that. So we'll follow the news as it goes on. But I'm just saying, apart from what I'm saying, be careful out there, whatever you're doing. Okay, so now let's talk about the political situation in US now. United States is going to be going to election again. It's another year where, we won't be surprised to see another bang again, because when it comes to United States election, everybody, just watch closely, because whatever happens in that country will affect the world, whether positively or negatively. So Democrats, they've presented Kamala Harris and, Republican Donald J. Trump. They're going to be contesting November the 5th, I believe. So now, Donald J. Trump came out and said the rate at which COVID-19 is, actually going on in US now is alarming, and is advocating that people should not be, silenced at this point. There's nothing like shut down, close down. No, people should not accept any shutdown, any close down again, and all that stuff. That the election we hold, people will come out and vote. It's their rights. They have to come out. No mail-in ballots. People will vote. And, he has mentioned so many things about what Democrats are planning. They've tried to silence Donald J. Trump for a while now, but he's very outspoken. He's going to say his mind. He says the way it is. And as a result of that, if you look at data as well, and I've just checked data about United States COVID crisis, COVID cases in United States has actually jumped to 2022's level, though the news are not going to mention these because they're just trying to keep it quiet and all that stuff. But if you dig in some information, COVID rate is actually going towards 2022 level. If you check, you'll find this information I'm giving you out there, and that is making Donald J. Trump to think and believe that Are they trying to play the game again second time? It's not going to happen this time. So at this level, I think we need to be very careful, be watchful. And you guess what? Schools are going to open again next week. Kids are going to go back to school, and we know kids are the biggest spreader of COVID. COVID don't really affect kids that much, but they pick it up from their friends in school, take it back home, and that will blow up from there. So that is actually causing some panic in some sectors, on some chapters in United States, and that's what we need to be watching closely before we deploy our money. If I were you, I'll probably deploy 60% of my money and sit on 40% just in case market goes down. I'll be able to deploy my money and take the advantage of the downtrend. So what I've spoken about today are the issues that may affect world economy or our investment in this quarter that we need to watch out for. Those are Israeli, Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas war. We need to watch that closely. The Mpox crisis going about, we need to watch that closely. United States election coming by November. It's a big thing that we need to watch closely as an investor in the market. Thank you very much for your support. That's all for today. Please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like, and put your comment down below. Ask me any question. I'll be there to answer any question. Thank you for your support. My name is Peter Adds, and I will see you some other time. Bye.